Then see your parliament in there. The reason why in here and there, Sanyoma we nyina ekoso e parliament and say, eye minority for eye NPP for say, courts ashe emra say, eye pandai elections across 2024 no. Sa elections no, eye court a Ghana agiatum a judge dano no. I catch Ghana for nyina say, eye den, eye sa abana omotoye no. Say wentwi a ekoso ene ntokwane ketahye ne proye ene aba nipa bi wiaye ene ne kan mu ene ballot papers ne ballot boxes e bi ira enti judge ne say sa aba no yansanto ne foforo. In fact judge na otena case no so wanka say NDC aba power nti sa pandai seat no yemfama NDC for. The judge never said that. The judge never said say sa pandai seat no yantam seat ni fan koma NDC because John Mahama na president or say sa wonchi ene me na me wini na we na wini a asem na be pie court a court ejina evidence so ejina sebio adanse so etie afani afanyina no judge ne say from the otie free NPP for ho ene the otie free NDC for no ohu ne say obia wo case na sebio ompese obe deny pandai for of a member of parliament. Na sebio omoso omo ha omogidi tum se omoto abatia sa MP we no so ompese obe deny omo that right and omoso sebio omoto abama sa MP we no so no ompese ombenya adwene bi se omo bu mra so a e wo se mra no ejina it o say twa no ekoyo ebayo wa wo se pandai for pewo no monko back na munyina mon san koto aba no se MP na ote so no se pandai for hu ni se ono an omo pa. Majority of the people I'm talking about Pandai, they don't vote for that MP. Say MP or Tesono, say Sebio Abane Tonuno, Bibi and Koye na Nipebi area Badima, we will know. Ebion Pandai for no Ebes Salmonsa. That is all. Judge Nankasa Munko Kumobi. Judge Nankasa Monkofa see Dunketiamra. One Kasa Monkofa Ajo Mahama Bra. One Kasa Monkofa na no Pokwa. One Kasa Monkofa Kufano. Judge and say, wait a Pandai for they need to have some kind of understanding. They need to come to some kind of closure. They don't want a constituency to feel say ebia they not also we win and ebia the way winning ebia enseso be winning na judge ni pese sa peace na Pandai for team no or pese or sustain peace because there's still tension in Pandai. And the reason make us attention want to say okwa Pandai na your nipa do bebre wo ha omakume mu no omu di arewo ebufu ho if you say omadwene ye omo say anaso omu hu ni say pe de esi ye nti obi ewia aba no de ma MP no na judge ne pese obi sebio Pandai for ebetwa omo akunti o say Pandai for pe eye current MP na omo koto aba in 2024 no 99.9% of the order ho tiase and omo nyina no so omo da ho wo e de registered him inti mun sanko na mun koto aba no mukoto aba no na samo da ho pesa MP na oteso na why not samon pena eno so ebekire that is all inti eno ena eba parliament a speaker of parliament kire say sebio court ede emra aba court edi asem ema court say yendi mra we so parliament eye bebi a shemra speaker of parliament oka say yentwe na de isi beka no na yenhwe sebia mra no beko yeto ena ebepto ho say e wo say emrana court ashe no e wo say parliament di so ena parliament say yendi sa mra no so enti sa Pandai seat no clerk of parliament e de krata every isi wo in fact isi for ena de koma eye parliament say former Alban Bagbin clerk na ka kire Alban Bagbin say eye ye ne isi for ye ready ye pese ye Pandai na ye koyi MP every say court say yensan kwoto aba no ena clerk yi ono ye de hye ni nsem ena de bra speaker say speaker enie ena speaker say endie court na kan dia mom yanko Pandai ni yanko de yanko to aba say MPP ni no ogine wudi say we wia banim na sebio Pandai for pena omo muti won beto ama no asa this should not affect government business. This should not affect budget year passe appropriations. It should not affect a year estimate a year approving. It should not affect. This is simple. I am very sure say MPs or more parliament in almost win your seat no send there you can see a kotoaba na say uji tumpa say wona win seat now. I don't think you will have a problem. So why do you think say this straightforward action taken by the Speaker of Parliament and Parliament as a whole, no? Today, some people from the minority, the NPP piglets, the inner monkeyism, why do you think, say, they exhibited it today? It's because time and no more power, no? They never respected the rule of law. Now, I mention what DB. Until Pandai is resolved, government business is going to suffer. What you say? So, another pre-constituency. As some kind was say, until Pandai issue, no, omo benya di omo peno. Se ende yedi sika eko eye clinic ana hospital bia e won constituency a mema aban fanko. Se won tiasia sa na se kire. O say sa Pandai asem na abesi na eye court ahye parliament say yenkoto aba no. Another pre NPP for say send over time be at the regional hospital. And sa akwara bi at the district clinic, district hospital. Na se bia e wo se aban pass sika bi ne ye de ko boa no hospital. And ato yenche bi si wo constituency. Ye de sika bi ye wo constituency kwan. Ye de bibi ba wo constituency. Another press because court ahye mra omo person be disunity. Sa sika na ye de bra wo se ye fa nchichiri wo kuro. Ye fa nto ye de moja emfamra wo constituency. Ana ono one constituency. Na ebia ende emergency nti obi wo ma moja tu no ye hia moja e wo san kedi bi man no. Another press and the NPP will say no. And then ka pimfo enwu. And the anka injanka, and the anka ende anadwumino ka say accident bi asi na say nipa bi behia emwe fra ban ho e wo say di sika to moja e wo say di sika eyo nyome bia NPP for say until say Pandai no ye dik seat be che omo no omo mpene e mo ba time bi anya e de enkwa another press omo mpene e ma Ghana mpuntuo bi a ye bia constituency bia no enya de omo be pene. That is the meaning of the statement. Into the omo ya no say anopa no go jina parliament say and the omoma Ghana bibia nkoso Ghana. This is diabolic. This is dangerous. And there you say sankofo we nyina no they feel say omofa wudie e na ye tietia so parliament. Let's do something. Mama show ade bi. This is Kojo Pom Kroma and the Ogranti interview. Now mungo ti Pom Kroma. Omuko parliament and no in parliament Yama obi ahụ kwan ma obi adi mmara so eye de oso ye ana meboa. Now, your friend be procedure. Procedure idea bi a odeba ye twi kasema senia ye di mmara so ana se senia ye hyehyɛ nyoma emane kɔ kan yo a ye di so pepepe any friend procedure. Enti procedure we ni ye fa so saa kwan we ni ye fa so saa eye den ekwan we ni ye bedi so ma ende ye nyina ye tena table hu ni ye didi a ye nim say procedure bi wo hɔ a wotam fork a ontumi entam fork mienu also tam ba ko no bi so fa ba ko emo wotimo a ontumi nti emo gu plate miensa so wote ba ko pe e wo nko plate so enti procedure ye nyina ye didi eno na udu parliament a ye friend emra procedure ye di so now ende before me go into a matter no me the kind of monkeys we have in parliament as minorities. And you see, the NPP, more idea be say, sa opportunity no munya na disrespected Ghana for a boom random so no, they are still in that shock or that state of mind. They say they still think say they are in power. They still believe say Obia Jimmy. They still think say when they speak, everybody should automatically see them as intelligent people. After another Prenya the opportunity to read about 10 pages of Omu speech. They got the opportunity in the same parliament to read 10 pages of Omu how they feel about Pandai issue na abeda parliament. I see rerun. Nobody touched another pre. Now, Omu we no and I say Omu pene ema NDC for dear Omu kan omanu asem. Now you go to your ponkroma can say me we are mature there. Listen to a ponkroma.
In this instance, before the NDC came to power, there was a pre-advertised agenda to get rid of the Chief Justice. Already made that ruling. No amount of pressure should be brought on him.
Finally, as a caucus, you have made your point clear through your minority chief whip that this particular letter should be withdrawn. Now, per practice, we know that once you make that submission, we should hear from the other side of the house. In this case, you are opposed to hearing from the majority. We do not know what exactly he's going to say. Why don't you just give him a fair hearing so that we know the way forward?
Procedure is being used to perpetrate injustice in this country. So what they are seeking to do is to cool down the temperature and normalize it with a long discussion and then tell us that we can go to court if we don't like it. We need to let people understand that this is a political chamber. And all the tools of the trade are available to us in this political chamber. Now, if injustice is being perpetrated of this nature, we will withdraw cooperation. So what we have done is to withdraw cooperation. And prior to this, we have been cooperating. Every single report that comes, we support. We are working towards appropriation on the 19th. There's no business that we haven't supported. We are minded to support the government business to go on. But now that they have elected to put a spanner in their own works by trying to use instruments of state to snatch this seat from us, we are left with no choice than to suspend cooperation. We have a lot of respect.
So, Kojo Pankroma Kasano, or say, journalist Busan say, per practice, Makama Semini Ewi, Emma, Monyonko form your majority in now, Omonomes Dosso Chemo, about 10 times. They sat down, they listened to you in the chamber. Journalists Busa a very intelligent question. Busa Pankroma say, but colleagues no more the other side. When you people went into parliament, now we reading with speech, you said everything you want to say. Most of them say a redraw letter now if easy waban say or say rerun the course. So Parliament of Ghana, Bibia Shembra and no one Mrano, it allowed you and your group to say whatever you want to say. In fact, about 10-page document. Your leader today, Anodompre, read everything. And now, journalist Ibusan say, now, per practice, adentina say, oti kebima min kebimum, say unim nyansa na unjimi ya. Se sebio se ubu Ghana fwa omosha wa parliament chamber ni ewo TV swa. Why don't you also give the same respect that they gave you to do what? For them to also tell their story, to also share their view on the same issues you want resolved. Because say oka no bianca, then there is no dialogue. The reason why there's one part, there's part A and part B, and they say we need to have what we call dialogue. I was so we share ajene. Now we are sharing ajene. Now back to a conclusion. Now for you making a decision. Into journalists and say, they say I'm going opportunity. No, this is a democracy. Parliament is no more. Adentina mo ma NDC for no chance. Mo soon read or mo dear and count margin. Na yen to me who may be a bit ND because until say NDC for no ultimate to match margin was some way a match margin. We are not going to get to anything. Because we need to get to a conclusion. There should be dialogue. Nipa bako enen hundin komo. Kojo Pankroma bien and no say procedure is being used to perpetrate injustice. What you say? Or say a procedure, be a friend procedure. Senya ye di emraso ana senya ye fa a kwan bi so ede nyoma bi e wo Ghana ye nyina ajatum no. Or say nipa bi e fa saa kwan so edi debia edien edi oyene ene edien nipa bi fa ahodie ntiatia so aba. The question here is the same Kojo Pankroma and his group of monkeys, they used the same procedure to tell the world in parliament how they felt about the decision of the speaker. Procedure. This same NPP piglets relied on procedure. Because without procedure, Anka Anodompre wouldn't get the opportunity. Like the majority leader, Mahama Ayariga, would not allow Anodompre, such a clown, a silly boy, to spend about 30 minutes spewing trash and listening. It was because the NDC or Parliament understood or understands, say, procedure is very vital when it comes to dialogue. It's the same procedure upon Kroma is telling you that people are using the procedure to perpetrate injustice. No? They capitalized on the same procedure to be able to make their point heard. They capitalized on this same procedure because I don't think, say, without procedure, Anodompre, that silly boy, and could be an opportunity to stand on his feet for about 30, 40 an hour to tell us the trash he told us today. But because the NPP or because the NDC and Parliament and Speaker himself, they respect that procedure, Anodompre led these piglets and monkeys to speak their mind in Parliament. I hope you understand what I mean. Sebio, you are claiming that procedure is not being used, but the same procedure was what you stood on today. That was your springboard to make your case that you do not understand why we should go back to Pandai to do what? To go and vote or go have a rerun. So it tells you clearly, say, this group of NPP piglets, this group of boys and girls in the NPP who are not intelligent enough to understand, say, the Omo Yeno, Omo Magana for a more say, they don't even deserve to have 87 MPs in parliament. Now, they wanted to rely on the same procedure to instruct or plead with the speaker to adjourn parliament. Why were they using procedure to make sure speaker adjourns parliament, to stop parliament today from working? I thought they had all the powers. I thought they could have all risen, or they could have all gotten off their seat and said, say, we are going home. But they wanted the speaker to go through the procedure. They wanted the procedure to work. And at a point, after they exhibited the highest form of monkeyism, they still told the speaker that, Mr. Speaker, we want to stand on this. And with all due respect, instruct you to adjourn parliament. That is procedure. But the same fools will turn around and meet the media and say, oh, procedure is being used to perpetrate the injustice. How? How can you make one statement here and the thing you are against, it is the same thing you want to favor you? You are using the same procedure to make your case. You are using the same procedure to speak your mind, to put across your grievance. But the same procedure, you are telling us that if somebody has to use it, now that procedure is evil. This shows how foolish these people are. Now, time on page of Musaka as speaker, air journey case, now procedure ben or mofaso. Sir Tolon MP, the only time that fool stands in parliament to speak is when he's calling for a head count. When the speaker said, say, Omokan we no busa say, left and right, yen twaso anasa me yen twaso, NDC focus say yen twaso, Omokasma me yen twaso no. That piglet, the Tolon MP rose up and said he wanted a head count and a procedure. Why is that procedure not being used to perpetrate injustice in parliament? Is it on the same procedure? Now, Mupesa Mujina so, Emma, Speaker of Parliament, ATM. Now, Moya Debia, I some way nine, I some way Jimmy. And you see, I keep telling Ghana for say, party way 2028 ne go. When Jimmy, you can't think beyond my party. And it helps me say, majority of the young people in the NPP no more Jimmy champion for no. Samia Uku, Kojo Ponkroma, Asenso Boache, Samuel Jinapo, only Jimmy champion for, because it's so bad to say the young ones who are supposed to be smarter, intelligent to know, say no. We know our future is very important to us. We need to be smart, we need to be intelligent, In Kwarane Jimmy champion for no. And it bothers me because then it shows say the party has no future. Now, yesterday they had a meeting with the minority leader Afenyo Markin. Now ask yourself, Argentina such an important thing to them. You did not see Afenyo Markin in parliament. He set them up. Onim say majority of MPP for Piglet we Omwe Jimmy. He's doing business with them. Do you know why he didn't show up? Afenyo Markin did not show up because Onim say this thing they had planned Andra to do today, it was going to destroy some of them their political career for good. Why do you think, say, halfway they are fooling? They went back and came with nose mask. They had realized that Afenyo Markin, Omu leader now, Jimmy Omo. There are so many of them who want to be minority leader. Now, Afenyo Markin knew, say, the moment he pushed them, he throws them to the dogs. And on record, you, these piglets, you were standing and chanting. Afenyo Markin's face wasn't there. He wasn't part of it. Now, who is going to take the fall? Because there are no records of Afenyo Markin leading this group of piglets to misbehave in the history of the Republic of Ghana, to see members of parliament foolishly exhibiting monkeyism attitude. So what he did yesterday was that he knew, say, the action they were taking, the rerun will go on. They are not willing to leave Baumia's campaign to go and follow that cow. So what he was going to do was, he wanted to protect his leadership. Because, Senka Afenyo Markin leading Kofo Wena, he would have been forced to swallow the shit. Now, because he's not ready to put his political career on the line for these piglets, what he did was that he did not come to parliament. Now, what did he do? He told them he was going to come. He told them, when you go, do this. Now, when they got there and started fooling, they realized they have been fucked up. At a point, they all went back and started using nose masks, thinking, they can hide from their constituents. The second part of parliament, no nose mask, because now they've realized, their constituents will be asking, now, kwasia way, onyo ne yakokun tokoma ne se onko pensio mra. Kwasia wei enyo ne yakon tokwa eto abama ne se onko pempuntu mra. Odwan wei enyo no na oma yedwa ye ho ahomachi ekobo flag no. Adenti na ndo gina parliament ejimi a parliament nkoso ose onye. Enu nti dom kofa nose mask no. Enti afenyoma ke no, o ready omu nyina hu se omu ejimi. O ready omu nyina hu se nyansa efe ne nyansa omu ni bi. So he set them up. As a whole minority, no, he decided not to show his face. Because let me tell you for a fact, right now, after today, this video will destroy lots and lots of these fools, their political career. This video, whatever happened in parliament today, that is the end of majority of them, their political career. But you will never find Afenyomakin's face. In the future, anybody that contests Afenyomakin in the NDs, in the NPP, or even wanting to be a flag bearer, he can use this video against you. But you cannot use any video against him because he has never stood in parliament and obstructed government business. He has decided to set you the fools up. Into Muma Jimmy, NPP Mwa Jimmy, the younger ones are more foolish. Into halfway no, and I'm realizing that Abi, you didn't quasi asem. I feel no moka say, Yankoto nose mask ni enche, send your beya your constituents no enwi enim, na me betrawa debi. Before I enter into the 30 MPs or more parliamentar, sir, metrao about the parliamentar in 2028, our constituents, they have to change their hand. I was a sanko for no, yes, stop you, and I'll do everything possible to make sure, say, Sani Pata way they never enter parliament again. Remember, our constituents, not here, say, these are not people that you can rely on. Let me tell you, they see a parliament in the the person who led them, Medin Kacho way, and Sana Makuminim. Come out. Nipana odi omonim and the momu Jimmy or parliament, no. Voter, original parliament, the different voter between on any NDC a 207 vote. Another pray. So another pray realistically, he's not even supposed to be in parliament. It would now, Kwasia where Onim say 2028, he is going to lose the seat. No, he is dragging you along. Another pray. Parliament no jina ejimi no ho. Ekekan Kwasia brofo. Obubu di timu ase no. Vote or the parliament 207 vote on the NDC you know. Upon beatings ni po mu bo mu tuo. Calling for about recount about 10 times you know. Or only 207 votes. And the BT NDC you know the general parliament in there. Now what shows or what tells you say this guy who didn't achieve parliament, you are coming back to parliament. He is not coming back to parliament. Majority of you people don't know the constituency nation in a Kroben Sunabeka Afenyoma another pray has to go back to parliament. 207 votes. And Okrano okuhunipa omu bohunipa tuo. Omu ye recounting be 20 times. So time no more NPP no power. Vote original parliament on the NDC no contest 207. Now we are member of parliament ya sumaum. Yes, ko parliament. Ko semra. Ko di wuni. Ko mat nipa na omode obae no asem hia no odo kwase di otoku echi. This silly fool who does not have respect for the rule of law. Member 29 so. But I wanted to give you an idea. It will be to say Patricia J. Mami pejina obetuma wa Afenyoma aken. Obetuma wa another pre. Mami pejina otuefu dwene. Na wama small boy we are in parliament no jina no nipa ni difference the manager parliament na 200 votes. Now mami Patricia J. Abrewa poso obobon to masha we nufu ase. Na wote nkwara we nim na wo jimi wo ho mami penyini. Na ade atia na wo tu dwene ababegina wo se yemma we nidie na wo parliament na wote na wote ase Patricia PJ parliament na wote no Maame abrewa te sɛ wo a wanufo ago a sebio ubebi ago a oje newu a awose wadwini befie no na o man nkwara we gimifuo we akwa we gina parliament only 207 votes sankanya NDC NPP na power anka otwe we nko ni parliament na wo maame panyini abrewa poso wanufo anu nyina adwojo na ugina parliament ma enkwara we samia ukumo ometumi no obetumi awo omo ometumi afa wase aba kojo oponkro obetumi afa wase epie John Ginapo a Samuel Abu Ginapo obetumi afa wase epie sankofo obetumi afi omo na omo gina wachi na ma me panyini untumi nda no honga sa monka ma no ntum na wa man kwara we gina wachi na ujimi wo ho ma me panyini na yakoya na so ye baaye enkwara wo betumi afi omo wo betumi apon omo enkwara wo obo wana wo nyima wo betumi apon omo na enkwara wo egu wachi na maame abrewa poso te sawo unnim nyansa beka sada bi enya sa na ekekere man. So were you expecting said you see your parliament no anka no na bema mwenya de mo pa na it does not work like that. Enkwara mu di wachi na obetuma afie omo ato obetuma pon wo sa wonyim na poli na obetuma pon kwara we mo firi mu pia atototo ho na ma me panyini te sawo adie nim guase no asantini ba na yeka obuo na mo pe obuo na firi. But I'll come to the matter. Abrewa poso tan unsue nyansa matna say a young man metuwfo politics inti wadane political jantra mankwara we so ha no atwe we tare woto na ma me panyin toto te sawo wonu fu asen fifire na nkwara we tare wo ho adan a ye nte ase unimu mra. You have been in parliament, ura parliament. Na nkwara we o ma me embo jantra se be wo mo na ma me abrewa poso te sawo wonu fu asen fifire gina ye nte ase o gidien edien na woje dadie sho body sim na wugina ho wugina no aye say edien na woje